Greetings.
Greetings. What do you need?
What's it like serving Lord Semi?
Well, I can't complain. And why would I? The old lord's such a good sort. I hardly ever get the chance to hand out a thrashing. And his son, older, well, he's just your typical young lord. He enjoys life, rides through the forests and hunts.
Does Older go to the tournaments? Does he know how to fight?
He's really good with weapons. Captain Gnarly trained him well, but he's never been to a tournament, as far as I know. His father kept him on a short leash, so he could take care of the estate and not go gallivanting all over the place.
We were attacked by bandits recently by the pond. Do you know anything about them?
I heard about that. And if you were there, you were lucky to make it out with your life. It never used to be like this. It was sleepy as fuck. But the woods have become a dangerous place in the last few months. And there's more than poachers depriving the wolves of prey, and nomads thieving like magpies.
I'd like to find those bandits and get revenge from my dead friends.
I'm not surprised, but be careful. We can't be everywhere, and even my lads aren't keen on going in the woods. What's worse, those rocks of ours here make it a bloody maze. We could be searching for cutthroats in there till Judgment Day.
Why didn't you drive out those nomads ages ago?
Like I said, our old lord is a good man and has a soft heart.
So he won't do it?
He won't. In fact, he recently got into an argument with the Troskovitz bailiff, Thrush. I reckon Thrush would string them all up outright if he had the chance. Fortunately, the only gallows are at Trotsky, and only Burgrave Harshek decides who to hang.
What's the Trotsky Burgrave Hashek like?
Quite stern and tough. He hasn't been taking any shit as of late, all because of those attacks and the bandits in the woods.
So he's in charge of taking care of those cutthroats?
Of course. As the Castle Burgrave, he's in charge of the safety in the region. See you soon, my friend.
Good evening. What do you need?
They'll surely fall my way now. Would you like to play?
What game would you like to play?
Let's play beggars.
Let's play.
I'm seriously curious about you, lad. If I was you, I'd take it. That's enough for me. Your turn. Damn! What's this? Good game, friend. The money's yours.
God bless.
Here, Mutt! Here you go. Take it. Look what I have for you. Look what I have for you. Here you go. Take it. Good boy. Good boy. Here you go. Take it. Search. Come here, boy. Here, mutt. Pebbles! My girl! I thought they killed you down by that pond.
Looking for something in there?
What is it? Did you drop something? Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best. But I'm not gonna scrap with you again.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znaimo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
Well, you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye, I wouldn't e'er be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semine's great-uncle. It's not every day that your, first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed, but that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semine in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Yichlava. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koschenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Schellbergs in Kuhlberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I didn't care.
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want to stramash? I'm near man of violence. Tradition has been honoured already.
Is it your custom to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard?
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a queer look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, no. It's not a custom where I'm from.
See? I learnt you something about Moravian ways.
That's bloody deep.
Heal! Look what I have for you. Good boy. Good boy.
careful.
God be with you.
At the mill?
Yeah, the place by the zapraszam.
Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
I need to get my horse scrubbed down and its tack cleaned.
As you wish, but it will take some time.
I changed my mind.
All right. What a nice day. Good doggy. Good boy. Greetings. Greetings to you too. God be with you.
Come here!
Be careful. It's not safe here.
Can I ask you something, Captain?
Sure. Ask away, son.
I'll get going then.
Excuse me?
I'm ready to set out, Captain.
Great. Now stick close to us, lad, and don't go wandering off.
All right, Captain.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass.
Right, sir. You keep up with us. Troskovitz ain't far, but as soon as there's fellas down the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
Why don't you tell me not to jump to any conclusions, sir? But I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
Good.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honourable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
That won't be necessary. I've got all I need.
Well, all right. But it never hurts to have something in reserve. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, I'm all yours! Show your stuff. Wanker! That was something! Take that! Wanker! You never saw that coming! I'm all yours! Henry, come here. Oh, a bandage. Quick.
Come here, son.
Ooh. I hope that's an...
What do you say, son?
I didn't even work up a sweat.
Climb off your high horse, sonny. You might have won, but you ought to show a bit of respect.
Oh, leave him be, Gnarly. He's young. He'll figure it out on his own in time.
Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he's saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you. Everything all right, eh?
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you set foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein. It's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Skalitz, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight,
Watch
sir.
where you're going!
I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
What a cheap old nag. Damn it. Don't you know how to ride a horse?
God grant you health.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Gut, versuchen wir's. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Thank you, and take care. Oh my God.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
God bless.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. while he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
I need to ask you about something. I found some peculiar armour and think it may belong to Brunswick, the prince in your legend. The beggar, Barra, said you might know something about it.
Brunswigs? Are you sure?
Absolutely. So far I haven't found much, but it's clear now that this is no piece of scrap metal.
But that's not possible. Could it have been more than a legend?
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. In short, they say the armour of ancient Bohemian prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. Of course, I never really believed it, but it looks like this time the children's fairy tale is true.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him, so he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
And what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt, and so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time, and when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, if he hadn't been a complete prick, he'd have turned around and left.
Well, aren't you a hero? Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup. So it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, and died on his way back to his king. Specifically while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armour here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight, each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And you don't happen to know where I could find the rest of Brunswick's armour?
That is difficult, lad. Not long ago, I didn't even believe it existed. I'd say each piece you find will lead you to another. But there's one more thing. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armour, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
Then how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armour gleaming still.
Uh-huh. And that was supposed to help me, eh?
Answers come to the wise, kicks to the stupid.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Well, thanks a lot.
Hold on, I'll give you something else. Sir George, who previously owned the armour, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armour, but this is certainly true, because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it, as a keepsake. And now, go. Take care, then, and thanks for nothing.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
I didn't say a word about you, sir.
There's a good lad. And what about the cart?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum! Let's hurry! To Yitchin!
Sir, I can send a message to the Itchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Don't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my brains
That
they
mare
were
if
ambushed.
someone gave it to me.
More
for
likely
free.
we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch, to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the cart back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Carmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one. Not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
I'm sorry? Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young Milka would only break a leg there.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around. here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning as the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows and the whirring of the spinning wheel. Oh.
Stay away from the tavern.
It's true about them devils.
You two don't know the truth from an hole in the ground. Stumble was a priest. He showed me old pictures of him and taught me a lot.
Let's get closer.
Aye, Stumble was a priest. Pigs can fly, and Gauze's name is really Sophie.
For a priest, he's got a miserable parent.
You don't say. You really saw that? I'm not kidding. Honza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't yanking your fiddle. I saw it with my own two eyes. She had one different than the other.
All right. But that ain't normal. Everyone must be laughing at the wench.
Why? Some people might like it.
I don't know who'd like that. And did they do something?
What the fuck? You imagine they do. Light up in the dark.
Leave him be, Honza. You're right. They did something. They rolled around and gave off sparks.
Aye, sparks.
You two are arseholes. I'd have nothing to do with a wench like that. It ain't right having a pair like that. She might be hexed, or maybe a witch.
You see hexes everywhere. It ain't that strange. Even my uncle had a pair like that. Each eye a different colour, and he definitely weren't hexed.
How would you know?
True. You never know what crosses folk have to bear.
Jesus, Honza, don't start again. I'm trying to tell
Truck.
a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated claptrap.
Supposedly. Have you forgotten I was ordained, you ignoramus?
For fuck's sake, you was never ordained, Honza.
I was. Stumble did it. In the forest chapel by Godera.
Right, fuck the ordained you. Just 'cause old Stumble poured some onward.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
Hamza. Tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't...
Word about the price.
Gut, versuchen wir's. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Ausgezeichnet. Du hast ein gutes Geschäft gemacht, mein Freund. Bis bald.
Well then, young man.
I didn't say a word about...
There's a good lad.
They were spotted.
Sort of yitch.
Oh, they were dry.
The thieving.
Sir!
Oh, it'll take too long.
Don't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchy and listening to God, I'll take Yitchy. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way. The Three Cats. You can spend the night there.
I remember that place. But I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
What a... Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchy. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my brains they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then.
You have a kind master, eh?
So, St. Anthony.
While you're praying to the Pope, go and have a...
All right, sir.
Well, that's what we have the...
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up.
I'm blind.
Well, that's just it.
I'll look at the... And you?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Yeah. Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old Yarmilka would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you. They got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage round here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. Still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows and the whirring of the spinning wheel... Oh.
Listen.
Yeah, I hear it.
There's somebody there.
Sure. Let's
I'm
get
trying
closer.
to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated claptraps.
Supposedly? Have you forgotten I was ordained, you ignoramus?
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there.
I could do without girls with voices like that.
I stumble with a priest. Pigs can fly. That Ghoul's name is really
For a wench, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him.
Sit. Stay.
You don't say. You really saw that?
Those definitely aren't the blacksmith's
I'm not kidding.
hands.
Hamza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't yanking your fiddle. I saw it with my own two eyes.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we going to do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
We ought to pounce on them while we have the moment of surprise.
The words of a real man. So get ready, and we'll go for them. Nice and quick before the bastards realize what's going on.
This guy has different colour, and he definitely weren't it. How would you...
Heel!
True. You never know what crosses folk.
You're in for an earth kicking,
What?
you piece of shit!
Slice him up! Yo, hit that! Fuck around! Damn it! He's at it! Hey, I need a hand here. You should have fucking stayed out of it.
You got it!
Slice him up! And it's done.
Stop dawdling! Hey, Henry, get over here! Stop dawdling! Hey, Henry, get over here! 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 Stop dawdling! Hey, Henry, get over here! Stop dawdling.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't...
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them, but I don't think it was them.
Me neither. We're right past that peak.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Shawnee, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours. Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
At them!
You also.
At them, men!
You're going to fuck with us! At them! Now I'll show you! Had enough, have you? You're out of luck!
I'll be done with you in a flash! Here's the last one! Oh, good strike!
I'm here!
Yeah, don't spare him!
Fuck yourself! They got what they deserved, the fuckers! Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening?
Spare me.
Come here!
Do be quiet. We'll decide what to do with you later. What about your family?
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry. They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hand.
But they'd taken him captive. What use would he be to us?
Are you deaf? Didn't you hear what they said? They took him captive because he wanted to drive off with the load. They were in cahoots. Only the thief... And they just...
And what punishment can he expect? Maybe he'd surrendered.
Now listen up, Henry. We don't promise nothing to no scum. Never. And if you promise him anything else, you'll be lying. Don't.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Who knows what they'll do to you? You might just get a whipping.
For robbing Semi, that old miser. He'll have me strung up from the nearest tree. I'd be better off jumping off the cliff.
Hey, I saw you cozying up with Gules. Seems to me he trusts you pretty much.
What? He wanted to skin me alive.
But he didn't.
What's that got to do with anything, anyway?
Well, I'd say you have a way with the nobles. People trust you. You just say it was the rashness of youth. Pour ashes on your head, and they'll be lenient. You'll tell Lord Semine it was a youthful folly, eat crow, and that'll be that.
Convince his lordship? I'm not sure.
Well, either you give it a try, fight it out, or you jump.
Although, Ma always said I could talk my way out of anything. For sure. I'm better at it than fighting with strangers or even head first on the cliff. All right. But only if you'll put in a good word for me. You'll tell them that I gave him up right away. And I don't know, with the face of the Virgin Mary appeared in the clouds?
You got it. But I'll try and think up something better than the Virgin Mary.
All right. Let's go.
I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing, here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Samin. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
Could you wait a while? I'd better just check that I haven't lost anything while running around here.
All right, but make it quick. I was happy to get out of Samin for a while, but now I'm looking forward to being back at my own fireside.
Is that offer of a ride still open?
Sure, if you want.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
Thief robbing a thief? What a world.
I'm still a nobleman, if you don't mind. So I'm not a thief. I'm a robber baron.
A thief's a thief.
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By right, I should send a fleet to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a fuck. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and knock your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected.
Ha! Are you yanking my business? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
With you? Hard to say. We'll see what kind of mood Lord Sameen's in. But with the wedding and all, I wouldn't get my hopes up.
But I didn't do anything. It was all Vencer.
Shut the fuck up, Francie!
I'm innocent. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every man she could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right! You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Rozgość. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears, but you're a laugh to have around.
day.
I'd like to do something about that price.
All right. I'm listening. Very well, then. Sir. And come again.
God grant you health.
Good doggy. Good boy.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, I'm listening. You'll convince me with that price. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Is it a boy or a girl?
A bear cub?
A bear cub? I mean, you found it somewhere.
Nah, it's a girl.
I'd like to do something about that price.
All right, I'm listening. Finally, a reasonable sum. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
Come here.
How dare he speak? Guten Tag, mein Freund. Du
Let's talk about the price.
Gut, versuchen wir's. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Danke. Das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realised they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose.
living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tale.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who... I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But
if it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll but Henry. If there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation. Was that you? Ah, never mind then.